time to send in the clowns because today is a very creepy, but not really, episode of Gone with the Wind. Welcome to the 30th episode of... Wait, I'm going to redo it again. I said Gone with the Wind twice. It's time to bring in the clowns because this is the 30th episode in October of Gone with the Wind. Cue the music.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
There are layers to that joke right there if you've seen Joker, so I appreciate that. That's a very inopportune time to laugh. So I get it, Ryan. Hey guys, Ryan and Manning are here to bring you the 30th episode of Gone with the Wind, the show about award shows. We talk all about award shows, movies, TV. Sometimes we actually watch TV. This is turning into the Ryan Manning Power Hour, or Power Half Hour, Power Hour and a Half, whatever you want to call it, because Malcolm has prior engagements, and Abe is having internet troubles, so he should possibly be joining us later as we talk about the big movie that has gotten all the craze, all the kids crazy, Joker. And I'm going to tell you, this could be a very interesting discussion because this movie has attracted a lot of buzz, not just within the movie sphere, but also within the world in general. So we're going to have a cool discussion about that, as well as bring you our way too early, as Ryan likes to put it, predictions. I, however, thinks they are just right. You know, it's the perfect time to make your lists that are early. Yes, but that's what makes it fun because they could be terribly wrong within the next 2 months. Speaking of Ryan is here.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm excited for another good episode. Hopefully, Abe will survive his internet problems and will come back to us. But if not, we will forge on.
I am currently sending him a message in the group chat. Abe, come back to us. And I'm adding a heart just because. All right. Literally, I put it in there because why not? I'm not joking. I literally just sent that. And yeah, this is our 30th episode. He's
not kidding.
No, I'm not. But this is our 30th episode of Gone with the Wind. And we are actually, I guess, would you consider this, we have now entered Oscar season? Or do you think we're still a little bit out at Ryan, in your opinion?
Oh, we're still definitely, no, hold on. I started to say that wrong. We are definitely now in Oscar season.
There we go.
I mean,
okay.
This weekend, but we're about to hit like a string of weeks where it's just consistently one after another. So I think we're there.
No, I genuinely believe that we have. I agree. We have genuinely we're starting to put gas on the pedal now, and starting to get some movies that are actually have a shot instead of just Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Farewell. So instead of just those two movies, we actually will have more movies to talk about when we get into our too early predictions. We're going to do above the line predictions. But before we get into that, we had a couple of trailers, not too many, release a couple of clips like Jojo Rabbit, but I'm not going to watch that one because I don't like watching clips before movies because that's just me. However, there are a couple of trailers that just came by. Oh, wait, holding up, guys. Is this Abe?
Yes, I'm in the dark. I don't know why.
We are officially in a horror episode now because Abe is currently in the dark and is whispering into his microphone.
Yes.
Okay, well, glad to have you back. I'm glad your internet decided to come back. We are just kind of talking right now about what we're about to get into, and we are talking right now about the trailer for... Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah, the new trailer for the Clint Eastwood movie that came out of nowhere that, as you were saying to me before, Abe, was actually in the works since 2014, or in talks at least, when Scorsese and DiCaprio were attached to it. Is this true? And are you excited for this possible late contender?
Excited? Not really. I'm gonna watch it. I like Clint Eastwood movies. I really like The Mule, the last one he did, and there was a little racist.
I forgot your hot take on that.
But no, it was fun. I have to say, I laugh at all of the jokes. Racist insults towards the Mexicans. I guess I can laugh at my people. No, but to be honest, I think this looks good. I think Clint Eastwood has shown that he can pull off these movies at the end of every season, we have Oscar season, and he can get nominations. That clear example everybody always talks about is Million Dollar Baby in 2004. That movie came out like middle December and just grabbed the Oscar at the end.
That's true. Also, don't forget American Sniper. That also came out late in.
American Sniper, you're right. Sully came out in September. Was Sully nominated for Best Picture?
No,
it
it
was
missed.
not.
No, what did it get?
No.
Like a sound or something, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Sully was a very forgotten film.
Sad. It was actually really solid.
Yeah, I think that this Clint Eastwood has now made like 3 movies in like a year and a half, which feels like a lot. But they all sort of seem like kind of the same. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, the 1517 to Paris was not good, but like, Clint Eastwood is now just kind of doing. He's making this one particular kind of movie that interests him, and he's interested in talking to people about his politics sort of through his movies. And I think that I think his choices are interesting. I think that this is an interesting story. So I don't know, maybe it'll be good. And who's his face? The guy playing the main character whose name I can't ever remember.
Oh, I, Tonya guy.
Yeah,
Paul something or other.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He was really good in I, Tonya. So, maybe he will also be good in this.
Paul Walter Hauser, excuse me.
Okay. I told Manning also before that the movie's opening at AFI in November, so I guess that means the studio has some confidence in it. So
yeah.
I believe this is Warner Bros. So if Jokers doesn't pan out, I guess this can be the horse for that studio.
That's possible. Depends on now. We just gotta hope it's good, because he's very hit or miss as a director. Clint Eastwood, very hit or miss.
Well, I don't know about that. He's mostly hit. Like.
He's mostly middle.
I'm trying.
Okay,
What's the name of that movie?
Jersey Boys.
I know. We shouldn't have a Clint Eastwood tirade, but I feel the need to here.
Do it.
The Mule's pretty good. The Mule's pretty good. The 1517 to Paris is bad.
Very bad.
Sully's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one.
American Sniper's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Jersey Boys is bad.
Yes, I agree.
J. Edgar is highly average.
I don't even remember that movie. I totally forgot
I didn't see Hereafter, so I can't say.
I've never seen Hereafter either.
Invictus is good.
Okay. I get your point. Right now, I'm looking at
it. Torino is good. Changeling is good. Letters from Iwo Jima is good. Flags of Our Fathers is good. $1 Million Baby is good.
It is.
Mystic River is good. Bloodwork is not very good. Space Cowboys is bad. True Crime is not very good.
Okay.
And then we go back into history.
Okay. You are right. You were right. I retract my statement. As a director,
there are more wins there.
He has a lot more wins. I just haven't been excited for a Clint Eastwood movie in a while, because you're right. They've been more middle of the road movies. His last, what's his last great film? I'm trying to
Gran Torino for me.
Yeah.
Depends who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm partial to Invictus, but that's just me.
I really do like Invictus. Gran Torino is better, but Invictus is still very good.
But yeah, since Invictus was still, I guess, after Gran Torino, that's the one that I guess we can look back and say, because American Sniper, I think, is very uneven. There's some great moments, but it's not his best work his best work in a while, I'll say, but not like something I would say is great.
The thing is, he's not taking risks. He's a pretty safe filmmaker, and he's able to tell the stories, and most of his movies are hits, like in the box office, so he can keep working. Also, he's so well respected. He's been working like since the 70s, 60s. So he has a good relation.
Right.
But the thing, so he said like he plays it safe, and sometimes like it's amazing. Like Gran Torino, I don't think. Yeah, sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's in the middle of the road, and sometimes it's like I'm total miss. Like you guys said, I have not watched 1517 or Jersey Boys, but like I think reviews stuck by themselves.
Yeah, don't watch 15.
Clint Eastwood's first credited role, obviously as an actor, was in 1955.
Man,
My mom wasn't even born.
Yeah, my dad was not born yet.
Yeah, my dad was 3 years from being born.
and he is still working today. That is impressive. So props to you, Mr. Eastwood.
You know, I don't know if I told this story, but my uncle, because they met Clint Eastwood when they were shooting American Sniper, and Clint Eastwood liked my uncle's car. He had a Beetle, a Volkswagen Beetle, and my uncle was, I don't know who this old guy was, but he really liked my car, and it was Clint Eastwood. I go in and they were shooting American Sniper.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, kiddo.
Well, that's awesome.
Just imagine him in his gruff voice being like very nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's a lot of Clint Eastwood, but we'll move right along now to what did you call this next trailer from 1917 specifically, Ryan?
Oh, it's just sex. It's just like visual
You
sex.
heard it here first, everybody.
You know,
He's not wrong.
Like, honestly, this movie looks amazing. I can't wait.
Just imagine a continuous. I mean, it's not a real one take. They can't do that movie's length in one take. It's almost going to be near impossible. But to make it seem as if it is one take, Roger Deakins, as I said, you got among men.
Okay, but so this is clearly. I mean, we got to think that this is a Roger Deakins Chivo whose dick is bigger on the table kind of contest, right? Like,
damn, Ryan is coming with those metaphors.
Like, coming in hot.
Well, no, but for real, like after Birdman, like Roger Deakins is like, okay, that's cute. Let's do a war movie. Like,
which, by all intents and purposes, is a lot more complex to do than Birdman. Birdman's one continuous take, quote unquote, continuous take.
Yeah, it's a more controlled environment.
It's conceptually the same, though.
Yeah, which I'm all for because visually I love Birdman.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's not like a movie I go back to a lot, but like I can dig it.
Although I feel like this movie's going to be so tense.
Oh, like, yeah. Oh, yeah. As you can tell, we're excited.
You're just going to feel so, like, clenched the whole time. Just like, like, you know.
There are way too many innuendos that can be used through this entire discussion of 1817 that I am uncomfortable, but also totally digging it. You're right, 1917. Wait a minute. It's the prequel.
The prequel. What war was in 1817?
I don't think there was. Like, what, some disputes between...
Well, no, the 100 Years' War is still probably going on, right?
Well, I'm in, like, in America. Like, well, no, that's in Europe, not America. What am I thinking? Man, I'm sorry, only America exists.
So the 100 Years' War was definitely in America, too, but whatever.
Was it as prominent, though, in America?
You know, there was a war in 1917 in America. It was called the First Seminole War. It was a conflict between the U.S. Armed Forces and the Seminole Indians of Florida.
I believe that.
Okay.
I'm now looking at the wars it was the
war that led...
I'm very wrong about the 100 Years' War. The 100 Years' War was like way earlier.
Oh, okay.
It was the war that caused Spain to give up Florida to the United States.
Oh.
We have some history.
That's neat.
But talking about 1917, do you guys think it's gonna be like Dunkirk? Like it's gonna be more, even though we all love it, but like it lacks some character development. But like it's gonna be more visuals. And look, Sam Mendes is great, but I don't think he's made like Skyfall is pretty good. But since American Beauty, we haven't seen his name like in Oscar race.
That's true, but this movie, if there is any movie to do this is the one. Technically, this could be utter marvel to like watch.
I mean, I think we can all agree it's going to be nominated for cinematography, even though it's good or bad. I mean, it's Roger Deakins doing just one shot continuously.
Oh yeah. If once we, I mean, we're not. Haha.
Okay, Roger Deakins comparing his dick.
How like what is the length of the movie? That's your length. That's the good.
Oh boy.
Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
Well,
it's
I
an hour
disagree
and
with the
50
assessment
minutes.
of Dunkirk,
It's
but
an hour and 50 minutes.
There we go.
but I don't know. Like, I think that Sam Mendes is a very different director from Christopher Nolan. So
Yes.
I don't like. While I think the movies have some striking similarities, I don't think they're going to be the same movie. If that makes sense.
They're different wars as well.
I mean, well, yeah, okay, and like obviously Dunkirk has like a very weird structure that would not work with this one continuous take,
Yes.
but it's. But at the same time, I think that like I just think Sam Mendes' sensibility is different. And I think that this is the first time that Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins have worked together since Skyfall, which was an absolutely gorgeous movie. And I'm excited for that re-teaming because they did a very, very good job on that, bringing everything together.
Actually, no, yeah, that's very true. So, no, and Sam Mendes is definitely one of the directors I'm always interested in just seeing what he does because his breakout movie was American Beauty, and that and it's not many times your first movie wins the Academy Award and kind of sweeps most categories. And just also he's a very interesting director. Go ahead.
It's such a weird movie. Like more I think about American Beauty, the more it gets weirder over the years. I don't know.
It's very much of its time, but at the same time, it's very interesting. Like it's very kind of like a time capsule in and of itself. That it's very competently made. It's not one I go back to too often, but it's something that I look back and I'm like, wow, this is definitely a movie by a guy who knew exactly what he was doing, and that's the first movie he's ever done. I mean, he did plays and stuff before, but that's not the same. Like, you know.
He directed a movie before, like a TV movie of Cabaret, I believe. Before that.
Did he?
Yeah. I don't know what year, but it was in the 90s. But I just think I don't think it's going to fail with the story. I think the visuals are going to be great, but I don't know if the story is going to grab. I'm going to watch it, and if it is in IMAX, I'm going to be there. I've never seen a Roger Deakins film in IMAX, so I'm pretty excited for that.
No, that's going to be wonderful. I think if this is going to be a great time for us too, because this is going to be us following these two, from what I gather, two individuals throughout the length of the film. And I think that will give us time, if done right, to actually, who's writing this? Because this could be a really well constructed character piece of just these two individuals going through, you know. Oh, well.
It's written by Sam Mendes and Christy Wilson Cairns.
I don't know who that is.
She has only written 11 things. Most well-known thing, it's I don't know any of these movies.
She directed. She was a staff writer on Penny Dreadful, but that's that's not much.
This is like her biggest script yet.
Aha! But next year she will be writing Last Night in Soho with Edgar Wright, who is the co-writer. So I'm pumped. I'm automatically pumped for anything Edgar Wright does. So, but yeah, no. Overall, this trailer was wonderful. It gave us more of an idea of the scope, and I can just kind of see how this movie is going to work wonderfully when it comes to the technical side, at least. Because now that we know it's definitely coming out, because is it Christmas Day? No, it goes wide January something, I believe. Yeah, its wide release is different than Christmas Day, because I know it's wide release is January 10th, but it's qualifying because it's limited release on the 25th of December. So Christmas Day, guys, look forward to that.
Oh goody.
None
of us live in LA, so
I live an hour. I live 90 minutes away from LA.
Oh
no.
Well, it's nice to be you.
Nice to be you.
Yeah, but I don't have a car to get there, so.
Oh, yeah, there you go. We had a discussion.
There's no point.
He has a car.
At that time of year, my land is just desolate.
Mm.
So
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. We'll see it January, one of those when it comes out, because the Oscars are in February, right? So they're going to have to push it.
Second week of February.
They're going to have to push that thing hard. Jeez.
Yeah, this is going to be a busy film watching year.
It is.
In
all right.
January.
Those are the two big trailers that came out this week in regards to movies related to this academic year. What am I in college? No.
It's academic year.
What am I called? No, this awards year is what I was thinking of. There we go. The other one.
Award season.
Awards season. Thank you, Abe. Also, we had Birds of Prey. Any quick thoughts about that, guys?
No, it was bad.
Oh, I enjoyed it because Ian McGregor I love Ian McGregor. I'm an Ian McGregor fanboy, so anytime he's in it, I'm pumped. And my expectations are so low for anything DC that I thought, why not? And speaking of DC, not really. No, we're not talking about Joker to the very end, so you have to wait, guys. But before we get into Joker specifically, we are currently near the Oscar season, and I was mentioning at the early beginning of this podcast, we were going to go quickly into some of our above the line categories and what we think, and we'll have discussion similar we did last year, where we'll be talking about them as a category, not as individuals, and what we think will be doing really well. So I'm going to start us off, and this list is basically we're gonna have the 2 screenplays, the 4 actors, the director, and then the picture. Just those above the lines. And you know what? Let's throw an animated feature because why not? You guys have animated feature? Am I throwing
No. Are there any
That's
good
fine.
animated features on the Toy
We
Story?
can talk about animated feature. It's fine.
Which
It's
is why
pretty-
I'm curious though, because I just want to talk about how barren it is. Because, oof. But anyway, we're gonna go right into that. So I'm going to start us off with Best Adapted Screenplay. Now, play along with us, guys, if you would like to, because these are going to probably change in the next couple of weeks, maybe months, when things start to actually get rolling. I don't know when our official first critics might be in November, I believe. First official critics awards starts to come out, but by that time we'll start to get a nice sense of how the word shapes up. But Best Adapted Screenplay, while they're getting that things up, I'm following the Gold Derby list, so working my way up from there. I should start with original then if that's the case, but oh well. Best Adapted Screenplay, guys. You guys ready?
Yes.
right?
I'm genuinely curious to see how off or maybe right we are, but in no particular order, I have Jojo Rabbit, Two Popes, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, The Irishman, and Just Mercy. How close are we, guys?
You don't have
We're
Joker?
somewhat close.
Okay.
I don't have Just Mercy.
Now, I will say quickly, Just Mercy is one of those movies that I'm kind of also biased because Destin Daniel Cretton is doing it, and I want him to get recognition in somehow capacity because Short Term 12 is something that I adore to the end of my days. Plus, also, it's gotten some good buzz so far in some of the festivals that it's kind of been in. But yeah, that's just kind of like filling that out because I don't know if it's adapted screenplay or original screenplay, but one of them is very dead. I need to double check on that. So what do you guys have?
So I similarly have The Irishman. For some reason, I have Jojo Rabbit. I'm questioning that decision every day. I have Little Women. I have A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And then I'm throwing in The Two Popes because I'm hearing good things. And that seems like a movie that it could be a very good written, like a writing heavy movie.
No, that was one of the praises coming out of the festival, like the acting and then the screenplay. That's what most people were saying were the highlights. And I thought if it doesn't make it anywhere else, I feel like screenplay is a good area for it. And what about you?
I have The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, The Two Popes,
Yeah.
and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
So Abe doesn't like Little Women.
No, I don't like it either.
Manning and I don't like Joker. And
my thing with Little Women is that we haven't seen, there's no reception for it.
It's not
Manning
screening at
doesn't
any
like
festivals.
Two Popes.
Yeah.
No, I did have Two Popes. I didn't have Little Women.
Oh, Okay, so you both don't like Little Women.
I do.
Okay.
No.
I love Little Women, but I have to agree with Abe. I don't know. Wow, this is context, people.
This episode.
This episode, jeez. But no, Abe. I'm not sure if it was you, Abe, who mentioned we talked about the trailer a while ago, and I don't know if they're screening it anywhere else, because this could be just technically a popcorn quote unquote movie. This could be, and I'm betting on that to be the case for now. It's just kind of like people are like, "Oh, it's good," but they don't say anything else about it. Just kind of.
I think people are just putting it out there because it's next to A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is like the big movie that it's been directed by a woman, and it may be by default that they put Greta Gerwig in it, like for Lady Bird, which is what many of us think about it, because I think Lady Bird was fantastic. But I don't know. I don't think Little Women is gonna be that, and it's the same studio as A Beautiful Day. It's Sony. If I'm not mistaken, it's like that movie could have been done before Cannes if Quentin Tarantino didn't finish Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But since then, nobody's talking about it. There's no screenings, like even secret screenings or something. You will guess like a movie like that they will carry on, or as you say, maybe they're trying just like to open it as wide as possible in December and make the push from there. But I don't think that's gonna happen because it doesn't have any stars that can boost and even the competition it has in December. I mean, come on, Star Wars, Jumanji.
Yeah, Christmas Day is gonna be stacked. Now, I'm currently looking right now, and it is currently does not have, at least from what I'm looking, any sort of festival showings, which does not mean anything. I mean, it does mean something, but it doesn't it's not the doom.
It means it doesn't have any festival showings.
Yes, exactly. But it doesn't help in the buzz. So it's going to need to be able to get some early word of mouth buzz before it comes in late. But then again, 1917, that's not really showing any festivals to my knowledge too, because they're still working on it. I think. So I am curious to see how that works. But yeah, no. Although gonna be real here, the fact that we're talking about Jojo Rabbit to being a contender in adapted screenplay, where upon premise alone, here we are, and I am very, very surprised, but also delightfully surprised because it's different, and I like having different stuff like this.
Well, yeah, and I think that its public reception is going to be a big deal.
Yes.
Because if its public reception is not good, then it's screwed. But if people come out and have an affection for it, I think that it'll be the film that gets nominated for this category that has no chance of winning.
Yes.
That's where I think it's going to be, where it's going to live.
Mm-hmm. Or if the Academy really, really loves the movie, I don't see it winning Best Picture at this point. But if they wanted to award Taika Waititi somehow in some way, this is probably the most likely, because it depends on how much they like the movie. But again, this is way too early. So what do we know? What do we know, guys?
It's kind of like The Lobster in that sense. It's like it's a totally weird movie that you can nominate for.
Probably a little better. I will say.
We hope.
Listen, I'm going to be shocked if it's like that, because Anyway, best original screenplay. Now I'm gonna try something a little different now, just to throw it out there. We're gonna talk about the category in and of itself. What we think like some of the main players are in this. Just because, why not? Let's just try this out. I'm gonna be a little experimental. So, what does everyone have? Does everyone have Once Upon a Time?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like the default at this moment, I would think.
Yes.
And then
it's getting nominated.
It's definitely getting nominated. It's Tarantino. That's kind of self-explanatory. Marriage Story.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If this is Netflix's pony, I see this really happening. They have 3 ponies actually. Okay. Parasite.
Yes.
I haven't watched it, but everything I read from it is like it's fantastic and it's out of this world. How did you manage to watch it, Ryan?
Yeah, how
It
because
was at a film festival.
Yep.
Oh.
And everyone's your quick thoughts also on that again. We talked about it last week, I know, but
It's great. It's really good. Go see it. Don't find out what happens before you see it.
I've not seen a trailer, and I refuse to watch anything about a trailer until I see the movie because I've heard nothing but great things. All right, so we all have those three, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay, we all have those three. Those seem to be a strong three at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with The Farewell.
I don't have it, but I don't think that should say much because I haven't seen it and I don't know.
See, what I'm thinking of because... Oh, Abe, go ahead. Do you have it?
I not really, but I think it has a shot because it's that summer movie that has strength through the summer and it can carry on to Oscar. Like everybody talks about Aquafina and I think another actress for supporting, right? So those are the chances. I wouldn't doubt that. There's a lot of movies that get nomination for actors and screenplays. So.
No, yeah, this is where I think it could shine. It could totally miss as well too. But for The Farewell, in my mind, it's very good. People go see it. A24, they have this and Waves. It depends on how Waves goes.
And
Well,
Lighthouse.
Every buzz from Waves came out. Like everybody was saying, like, "Oh, it's best movie of the year and everything," but like it just died down.
And I haven't heard anything else about it. No, after that trailer, it was like that was. We'll have to see more festival stuff. All right, so then I guess my fifth one, I have Booksmart.
Fifth, I guess.
Oh, fifth, yeah, fourth. Does everyone have Booksmart?
No.
That's the fun one that I
No, Manny, that's my favorite movie of the year. But after the financial disappointment it was in summer, sadly, I don't think whichever studio has it, I think it's Universal or Lionsgate, are gonna want to put more money on that movie. So I have to say no.
What I think is that this could be a carryover from like WGA because I can see this being like a WGA type of thing. And in my mind, that's a possibility because it's still one of the movies in the first half people are still at least talking about that I've heard. Not like it's going to do major damage, but like, oh, hey, didn't we like Booksmart? Plus, it's a strong possibility that if you're looking at first-time DGA, Olivia Wilde might be winning first-time DGA. So good for her on that regard.
Yay.
And I don't think it was a financial disappointment. It was at a $6 million budget. The box office is $24.4 million, which is not that bad.
Yeah, but they opened it wide, and they were expecting like good cash from it during the summer. Like,
oh, I was about to say, if even if the budget was,
they spend the money like to market and like a film, like I don't know, a normal film, like a studio film. They spend the money on it, so I guess
that's true. All right, so what do you guys have that I don't have? Because we have three, but we're missing two. Ryan, what do you have?
I have Pedro Almodovar's Pain and Glory.
Oh.
He is he's a very big figure in cinema. And I think that given that he has an English language movie that is supposedly as good as this movie is, I think that this would be a good chance for the Academy to nominate him or give him recognition in a few categories that he hasn't before. I think this is one of them. And I, for shits and giggles, am putting Rian Johnson's Knives Out on my list because I think that could be the fun one. Because I want him to redeem himself to me, and I think he's going to. And this movie looks a lot of fun, so I'm just going for it right now.
Listen,
prediction likely to change, but we'll see.
Listen, this is our fun for our early predictions. We don't have any sense of like we are not married to these predictions, guys. These are way too fun. Abe.
Yeah.
I share the thoughts with Ryan about Knives Out. I also have it. I think from the buzz from when I think it was Steve, right? I think everybody was talking about how sharp the script was. So I guess that can do it, especially if it comes out in November and it's a hit. Has a great cast, so it can definitely show. And I'm putting Ford versus Ferrari. Ferrari. I don't know why, but I
Interesting.
think James Mangold is writing it, so it has 2 big stars. So I'm just putting it out there because it's the biggest movie I think that can have such. I think Knives Out of that can, but I'm pushing Ford versus Ferrari because they open the same weekend, I believe.
Do they?
I believe so.
I'm gonna see
I'm
both
not
then.
sure. I'm not sure.
All right.
One of-
So those, so yeah, actually no, those are the Knives Out one props. That's a lot of fun. That would be a pretty cool one if done well. If it does well. All right, moving on to now best supporting actor, guys. Now this is gonna be interesting because does this feel? I don't know if maybe this is too early, but there doesn't seem it's very sparse. Is that just me?
You're not wrong.
I don't know why. It's just like there's not a lot like, yes, this is the one, or this is all. There's not a lot of that. Ryan, you name each one out for us. We can tell you if we have it with you.
Okay, hold on. Do you want me to go like in order of
Just what do you have written
most
down?
likely to have it?
If you want to, but if you don't feel obligated to go toward that list. Just kind of say, well, I just kind of went off what I just put them down in no numerical order.
Okay, so most likely to be nominated here is clearly Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he has to win it.
Okay. Al Pacino for The Irishman. Do we all have Al Pacino for The Irishman?
Hoo-ha.
Okay. How about Anthony Hopkins for Two Popes?
3 for 3.
Anthony Hopkins for Two Popes?
Yes.
Yes.
Listen, if the Two Popes does anything, it's doing actor and screenplay. Actors, both of them.
Okay. I know that we decided that the Academy hates him, but Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood?
Yes.
Yes.
And do we all have Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse?
No. We're so close.
Okay.
So close. Actually, Abe, you can go.
Look, I'm debating about Joe Pesci for The Irishman because it's his first movie like in a while. In a while. So I think that would be nice seeing him in the ceremony, marketing stuff. And also Christian Bale for Ford versus Ferrari. That's the one I'm debating.
I thought that was the lead role.
That's where I'm uncertain too.
No, they put it as supporting.
Did they? Okay.
And Damon is the lead, so I guess Christian Bale is gonna. I mean, his Oscar was for supporting actor in a lead role. The Fighter.
Wait, supporting actor.
Wait. Hold on a second.
What?
Though I don't know. There's some disagreement about because on whatchamacallit, on Gold Derby he's in both.
He's in both. That's why I was confused.
I mean,
and on this other list. And on this other website I've been reading, they have him as a contender for lead.
If I'm not mistaken, which I probably am, I read that they were gonna send him as supporting, which I don't know if that's true or not. But I think Christian Bale can get nominated if he's a supporting. If he's in the Best Actor race, I think he also has a shot. But I think it's between Pesci and Bale to be there. I don't know if Willem Dafoe, you guys talk about The Lighthouse, which I think it opens like in 2 weeks, right? I want to watch that. I don't see that.
It opens in limited release in 2 weeks.
Oh well, that's that. Probably a month to see it.
So New York
looks like a very auteurist film.
I don't think they're gonna nominate Dafoe until they're gonna give him the Oscar because he was supposed to be going for the Florida Project and he did not.
And then he was nominated again in last year for whatever it was called.
Oh yeah, that From Here to Eternity.
Eternity's Gate.
Oh, Eternity's Gate. Yeah,
I think that they're just going to continue nominating Willem Dafoe every year.
He's gonna be. Well, see, that's. I feel like that's Christian Bale. Like Christian Bale, like somehow sneaks in. What's the last time he got nominated again?
The Big Short. Probably. Oh no, Vice. Last year.
That's it.
Right.
He's a very consistent. He just somehow gets in a lot.
I mentioned Vice and I saw Ryan's face and it was not a happy face.
He already forgot it.
Of course, it's not a happy face.
Hey,
put on a happy face.
Don't forget to smile. Anyway,
okay.
I do. Yeah, I actually Pesci is also the one I have. Bale is also I have like as my 6 until I know exactly what he is. But I currently have him an actor spoiler, so we'll see what happens because you never count out Bale.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a war where they nominated Taika Waititi as Hitler?
Yes, I do. So
No, I don't. I think there's a world where Sterling K. Brown gets nominated for Waves because that movie looks terrific.
Depending on what they do.
But we'll see how it does. We'll see. Time will tell.
Boy. So, well, actually, the question is, Ryan, you don't think there's any chance whatsoever that YTD is going to be in the hunt? Not be nominated for nothing.
Well, hold on. What do you mean nothing?
Like no,
I don't think he's going to be in the
Golden Globe, perhaps a SAG, some critics.
Well, if it's a comedy at the Golden Globes, then yeah. I mean, he might have a shot.
Depending, because I'm just saying, stranger things have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like Amy Adams not getting nominated for Arrival,
or Octavia Spencer getting nominated for everything every year. Both strange things have happened. All right, supporting actor out of the way. So, best supporting actress, Abe. Tell us one by one. What do you have?
Okay. My number 1 is Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers.
Whoa! Hold the phone.
Now I want to tell you why. That movie is fucking amazing. I don't have to say anything else.
I still haven't seen it.
I'm in love with Ramona. That's the name of my character. I'm thinking Laura Dern for Marriage Story because everybody says she has a speech in that movie that is just amazing. So I guess Noah Baumbach writing it. It's gonna be great, and I think I've seen, or I don't know how she plays in the movie. The trailers don't tell us much. I
also have Laura Dern, so thumbs up to Laura Dern.
I'm thinking Meryl Streep for Little Women, even though we didn't talk about that, but I think she has a shot. Or even what's the name of the Soderbergh movie? Landro? Yeah, but she's the lead in that, so I don't think so.
I think that movie's. I heard nothing about that movie.
I'm thinking Annette Bening for The Report. I don't think that's her year, but I think she has a shot. And I'm gonna throw Nicole Kidman, or I don't know who. Yeah, whoever is supporting in the Bombshell. Bombshell,
Nicole Kidman.
She is. I believe she is supporting. Bombshell is like a really question mark because I have zero idea what that could do, if anything, because we haven't seen anything but that one trailer. Heard nothing else actually.
But everybody was like, "Oh, look at Charlize Theron in that." So I guess
all
3 of them can play back and forth.
All right. Now, Jennifer Lopez is interesting because you tell me 2 weeks ago that Jennifer Lopez had a shot at getting nominated for Hustlers. I think you'd crazy. And then there's this buzz going around, and here we are. Jennifer Lopez is a possibility to be nominated for Hustlers because I do have her. I do agree. I don't think she's going to win.
Watch the movie. She's great in it.
I don't have to watch it now, but
you're going to have fun with it.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Wasn't it? Okay. I'll watch it. And
have
then
you watched it, Renee?
I have not watched it. I have not watched it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I also have Zhao Sush. I believe I'm not pronounce her last name. Zhao Shuzhen for The Farewell because I don't know. I just thought that they could bring her in as a possibility. Plus, she also has some good stats on Gold Derby, so I was happy and pleasantly surprised by that. But we'll see. That everything else I have besides, so just take out Kidman, and I agree.
I have I don't have Jennifer Lopez and I don't have Nicole Kidman. I have Penelope Cruz for Pain and Glory. I hear it's quite a good performance. And I also have, and I'm taking a real flyer on this one, I have the Dame Maggie Smith for Downton Abbey. Because I've heard that the performance is really good. She's very good in that role in the TV show, at least from the few seasons that I watched.
And from the Emmys, she's racked up.
Is she gonna show up?
Well, and honestly, like, I think that, you know, the Academy does like her. So, like, they nominated her for Lady in the Van, a movie that nobody saw. Like,
Wait, did they?
yes.
I totally forgot.
Didn't they?
Yeah,
they did. Right?
Can I mention
not
No,
totally
that was
hallucinating.
BAFTA. That was BAFTA. I was about to say, wait a minute.
Can I mention another one? I don't
Go
know,
ahead.
guys, if you
Yes.
remembered, or I don't know, or two episodes after the Oscars where we did or way too early predictions, who I predicted to win
Yeah.
supporting actress.
You did.
Rebel Wilson in Cats. I'm telling you right now, that's a dark horse.
And
gonna
there
win it.
goes a muted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Well, anyways, the Oscars still do like her. So,
Oh no, absolutely. She's Maggie Smith.
yeah,
Or excuse me, Dame.
I'm
Maggie.
giving her. I'm taking an early flyer on her.
That is not a bad call whatsoever. All right, best actor in a leading role. All right, now, right, say it all with me, guys. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
We all have him. Okay. All right, Adam Driver for Marriage Story.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Now I also have Christian Bale, Ford v Ferrari, but that's because I don't know what he's going to go supporting or actor. Depending on what happens, I have him in here.
I agree that he is being nominated in this category.
There we go. And then we'll see what happens, Abe, depending on the situation. Now I have Jonathan Pryce. Two popes.
I do not have Jonathan Pryce.
Yeah. No.
No. Okay. Well, I'm just kind of hoping because that man needs an Oscar nomination. And then I also have Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix for the Joker.
Yes.
Yeah, that's maybe the most obvious.
But it could also be a total miss. We don't know. It depends on how it's embraced. You think it's an absolute done deal. Nomination-wise, at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Commercial success. People are gonna tune in to watch that. Just makes sense for.
We'll talk more about our feelings on Joaquin Phoenix's performance later.
Yes.
But yes, I do think it's a done deal. I don't think there's any chance of anyone supplanting him at this point.
All right. I mean, I do agree he's be nominated, but that's very, very.
Who was your okay? Jonathan Pryce. I'm not thinking Pryce. I'm thinking Eddie Murphy for Dolomite Is My Name.
Really?
Yes, I think he's getting his comeback next year with Coming to America 2 and he's doing the Netflix special. So I think him being nominated for the Oscar will make sense, like to launch that Eddie Murphy comeback everybody's asking for. And from what I read from reviews is that he's really good, and I think he's, I don't know if pedigree or his recognition for the people can launch him to the Oscar race at least, not for winning because that's gonna be Joaquin, but we'll talk about it later.
Well, okay, what are these hot takes coming at me all of a sudden, guys?
It's not a hot take. I'm just telling you what
my
thoughts are.
My number 5, continuing my heavy affection for a movie I haven't seen yet. I'm putting in Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory.
He's really good in that.
That was
He's really good in that.
I need to hear more about it.
Wait, you've seen this movie?
Yeah,
I told you guys it opened like 2 months ago in Mexico.
Yep, and he somehow saw it before us.
He's really good. It's really clear. It looks beautiful. I like it.
Okay. All right, guys. Somehow, some way, Malcolm is here. What is this? Hi, Malcolm.
Hello.
He has made it officially. So, Malcolm, we are currently going through Oscar predictions. We are currently on Best Actor. Way too early, obviously, of course, but just for funsies. What do you have for Best Actor at the moment?
For Best Actor at the moment,
sorry, we're putting you on the spot.
it's all right. For Best Actor at the moment, I've got a couple which I put there just from what I've sort of heard about their performances, and then the other 3 I've seen the movies. But do think that there's still a chance Adam Sandler will get that nomination for
Oh.
Uncut Gems, because I've heard so much about that movie, about his performance in that movie, that makes me think that there's a chance that he could be nominated.
It's not a
I've got Christian Bale for Ford v Ferrari, which is probably a popular pick there. I've got Taron Egerton for Rocketman. I think, despite the movie coming out really early, I think that there is a chance that he will still be sort of looked at. I've got Joaquin Phoenix for Joker and Leo for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
solid.
Yep.
Solid list right there. That's now.
Cool.
Now question remains: what's more likely to happen? Eddie Murphy getting a nomination or Adam Sandler getting a nomination? Because I don't think they're both getting in.
I don't think either is.
Yeah, I mean,
But more likely.
I think Adam Sandler might be more likely, because I haven't really heard that's great things about his performance and about Eddie's performance in Dolomite Is My Name.
I was gonna say, because Abe, you had Dolomite, right?
Yes, but the thing is, do they really give the best performance a nomination sometimes?
Oh,
Sometimes you gotta go for it.
fair.
Yeah, but like when Eddie Murphy does, like when he did whatever that other movie was a couple of years ago, Mr.
Mr.
Something.
Church?
Yeah, like they were like, like
Yeah,
it was
but they
not
were-
the movie, and
yeah.
the
They were like,
Academy just shrugged.
Yeah, but they
Eh.
were not pushing it. That movie came out like in September. Dolomite is doing the festival circuit, and it's gonna open on Netflix, and everybody's gonna be able to watch it.
But Netflix already has
Yeah,
3.
Yeah, and they have a shit ton of money.
yeah.
Dude.
I mean, Netflix is going to go to town. I think that Robert De Niro has the best shot of anybody that we didn't name.
Oh yeah, I forgot about De
So-
Niro.
Oh, I thought you named it. I thought you named it. Oh yeah, the nearest scene. That's no question.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Well, that's
I
interesting.
think there's a question, but
yeah,
I think that
Because-
he's quite likely.
because most reviews coming out for The Irishman, which had a great trailer, full trailer recently that just came out, really psyched me up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I De Niro's name was not the one people talked about a lot. Pacino and Pesci are the ones I heard out of the 3 of them the most.
Mhm.
At least the ones that I saw. Not saying that people were saying he was bad, just they had more to do with supporting actors in this one, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
But if this
Well,
movie,
and I think that I think Al Pacino, like that was why I picked Al Pacino, was because in the supporting actor category, because I think that he has more of a resume this year, and I know that that's not how they're supposed to weigh it, but I think that they do.
Yeah.
And I think that the fact that he's going to be in 2 Best Picture nominees it was worth something.
yeah,
But well, I don't know about Joker, but De Niro is in Joker.
Yes.
True.
yes.
it's
Which,
true.
you know, they're
We'll
in the
talk
same
about
boat.
A
They're in
little
the same
bit
boat.
there. A
We'll
little
talk
bit.
about it.
All right. Best actress. Now, this one's going to be really interesting because I think there is one front runner at the moment, just from buzz and word of mouth. And I think we all have Renee Zellweger, right?
Correcto.
Mhm.
Once I
For
get there,
Judy. Which,
yes,
There
I
you
had
go.
Renee Zellweger.
so now that we're
Yeah.
here, let's quickly just say, I think she's very good in a very okay movie.
I think she's great in that okay movie too.
That's basically the gist I can tell you about Judy at the moment. I think she steals the show in a movie that's very muddled and could use. The screenplay doesn't do her any favors. It's very messy. But I
It's
really, it's what was that, Abe?
Oh no, it's her performance. That's a movie. Like if you enjoy the movie, it's because her.
Yes, no, she is great, and I believe that was Judy Garland all the way. I just kind of wish that I had, I don't know, something different than what we were given, because I would love to see her tackle this role with a better script. Maybe the setting wasn't because them cutting back to her as a kid, I thought was interesting, but at the same time,
Didn't work.
It was misplaced. I thought they could have done it either more, because it was very more or less. It was this weird middle ground that didn't really work with the flow of the movie. But I think she's great. Some of the side stuff's not great, but she is the thing to see in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Anything else you want to add, Abe?
Not really.
Oh,
I watched it and I thought about her performance like on the way home from in the bus, like an hour, like, oh, she was really great. I was just looking Judy Garland videos and everything, because I've seen her movies, but I have never seen like she performing, and I think she does channel her incredibly. But I don't know if she's the front runner for me. But or from what I expect what to happen, but I think she's great, and as you say, everything around her is like subpar to what she's doing.
very subpar.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think she's getting a nomination. I don't know if she's the front runner, but
at this moment, she has the most buzz around her name, I will say. But that could totally change once we actually see my second option, Marriage Story. Scarlett Johansson, guys?
Yes.
For sure.
Correct.
Malcolm?
Nope.
No Marriage Story. Uh-oh. All right. Does anyone have Awkwafina for The Farewell?
Yes.
Yeah, even though I've not seen it.
But I don't, but I think that there's good odds.
This would be, I want.
She's my first out, so to speak.
Okay. Well, good. She's might be one of my favorite performances of the year in that movie in particular. Just, I love the movie so much. Now this is where it gets interesting, because I don't think there are. Okay, well, this is what I'll say. Charlize Theron for Bombshell at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. If Bombshell bombs, that might change.
She should be nominated for Long Shot. Second best movie of the year. Or favorite, whatever you want to call it.
And then I have Cynthia Erivo for Harriet.
Nope.
Yes.
That's because we need a biopic in there besides Judy somewhere, I guess.
You know what the
yes, ma'am, yes.
Like early on, like I remember reading articles like, oh, this is the one that's gonna be the best actress.
I know, right?
Or then the movie debuted and it was not like it was, I think, mediocre to lower reviews or something like that.
Same thing.
So I think Judy. that can. No, I think Judy is more accepted than what I read about Harriet.
Well, but it's the same deal as like Loving, but Ruth Negga still got nominated. So,
I mean, yeah.
Of like how the performance was praised, but the rest of the movie was kind of like.
I'm also thinking like there's not a lot of like best actress unless a movie comes with an over. Like I don't think there's a ton, so I can see it. Mm-hmm. I actually didn't have a fifth one because I don't know how to put, because people are taking Lupita Nyong'o for Us, which I cannot see honestly, because that will be the only nomination for the film. I'm thinking Helen Mirren for The Good Life. Like I don't know where.
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah, it comes out in November.
I totally forgot about that.
So I think Bill Condon, it's kind of like in the Academy. I think he was nominated for Chicago for screenplay, I think, or I don't remember. But I think Helen Mirren has a shot to be nominated if the movie is any good.
Because right now I'm looking at the best actress.
Because if you see the odds, like there's a ton of people well known, but none of them seem to have like none of the movies seem to have been talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I definitely think Erivo gets in, and then my number 5 is I just had this person's name and it just immediately left my head.
Oh, Meryl Streep.
Saoirse Ronan, because she's a nomination machine.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't care how good or bad Little Women is. Like she gets nominated for crap like Brooklyn. She gets nominated for slightly better movies like Lady Bird. Like she just churns these nominations, even though
he really didn't like her.
You're a monster,
an above
Ryan.
average performance.
I mean, you could she didn't get a nomination for Mary Queen of Scots. I don't think.
No,
she didn't. That's true. which is the best performance she's given out of any of these movies. So really what we're saying is when she gives a good performance, she doesn't get nominated.
I like
Also, Brooklyn Lady.
Agatha. I like her as Agatha.
She got nominated for
the
Atonement.
Budapest Hotel.
She did get nominated for Atonement. That's another good one. But
that's I need more from Little Women before I'm like yes, because I don't know. I need more because
I'm on the
I'm
Little Women train.
Listen, I would love to go on that train with you. As we know, I adore the Little Women franchise series.
What about Meryl Streep in the, I don't know if she's sleeped. I just don't remember the trailer in the
The Laundromat.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think she's getting her Little Women nomination. I
mean,
don't think
it's
she's
any of those two.
But I mean, the thing is, there's could be a chance she could get to, depending on where she's sort of seen for Little Women. Because if she's seen as supporting for Little Women, she could be seen as lead for Laundromat or vice versa. So
there is no way she's getting in for both, even though she is the great Meryl Streep. That would be
hilarious.
That would be hilarious because okay, why not?
I mean,
now this is one. I mean, this is one that I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, one that I just saw last night, which I think there's a chance they might get in is Florence Pugh for Midsommar. I thought her performance in that was great.
I would love that. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love that.
I mean, either that or I mean, I think Midsommar is probably more likely. Finding My Family, I think, was too early, but I would love to see her get nominated for either one of them. Also, the girls from Booksmart, I don't know which one falls into which, but I'd like to see maybe one of them get nominated for. But once again, I think the earliness could affect that one as well.
At this point, Beanie Philston seems like she'd be the one who would be
used to act. She has second billing of the film after Gary Oldman, so I guess she's the leading the laundromat or however you pronounce it. Laundromat.
The laundromat.
That's
that thing. You know that thing you do. Get it? Joke. All right. So
watch it'll be like Julianne Moore. Just something ridiculous.
For that
I don't know.
Something.
I don't know.
She's going to Oscar.
It'll be something ridiculous.
Speaking of ridiculous, and speaking of ridiculous, and just the excuse you, the bevy of riches. We'll say. What's the word? No, there's a word. I can't think of it now. Spoil of riches.
Yeah, spoil of riches.
No, there's something. There's something. It's a ridiculous.
Are you saying we have a lot or a little? What are we talking about here?
Best director is actually has a really great just list of talent up here.
It is competitive.
It is very competitive, and I like a good best director competitor. So Ryan, help us out.
So I got myself a Quentin Tarantino.
Boom.
correct.
I got myself a Martin Scorsese.
Boom.
Correct.
I do too.
I got myself a Noah Baumbach.
Boom.
Yes.
I got myself a Sam Mendes.
Yes.
I want to, but no.
And I got myself a Greta Gerwig, even though I don't think that she deserves to be there.
No.
But that is who I have.
But yeah, I'm with you on 3 of those. I've got Tarantino, Scorsese, and Greta Gerwig. But I also have James Mangold for Ford v Ferrari and Lulu Wang for The Farewell.
Okay.
Now this is going to be crazy, guys, but I actually have Lulu Wang. Also, it is pronounced Wong. It's not Wang. I found that out, and I felt really bad. It is Lulu Wang. What was that?
Wang.
It's Wong. Stop. All right, and Bong Joon-ho, because I have Parasite doing well, and after we had 2 foreign directors get in last year, I think this is the new
Yeah.
Academy might bring that in as well. And with Parasite's glowing reviews, and I think it has, knock on wood, the front runner for foreign at the moment. I think they could bring Bong Joon-ho in.
Oh, it's gonna win foreign. I'm pretty sure it's gonna win forein.
I don't have. Oh, sorry.
You don't
Well, I would be happy to see Bong Joon-ho win. I'd be happy to see Bong Joon-ho and be nominated in this category. I just think that they're going to throw a bone to somebody who doesn't deserve to be there over him.
And I think the person you're kind of referring to could be the Russo brothers, but
no, that would be.
I mean, the Russo brothers, I could possibly see maybe getting a potential nomination for what they did on Endgame. I mean, I don't know if that will happen, but that could be a surprise when it gets in.
They're gonna have to I can see it getting a PGA or something at the moment.
Ryan just got a Jabulani, the soccer ball for South Africa 2010.
No, this is a Brazuca.
Oh,
the soccer ball for Brazil 2014.
Damn, that was here.
I mean, the other one is, what about Todd Phillips?
No.
We'll get to it.
I'm sorry, but his comments is not helping him at all.
Oh, that's true.
He's gonna be a PR nightmare if Warner Brothers wants to push him.
Just tell him to say nothing.
Yeah, shut up.
But no, I think. Wait, what did you have again?
Oh no, I didn't have Greta Gerwig because, as we have mentioned through all this segment, that we haven't seen anything from Little Woman, and I have Bong Joon-ho. That's how you pronounce it. I think he has a chance. I think everybody's talking about Parasite since months ago, which I really, really want to watch.
Yeah.
I think, you know who I think has a shot? Taika Waititi. Jojo Rabbit does good. Maybe Almodovar, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But I think that they're going to award him in writing. I think that's where he's going to go.
Yeah.
I think that's where he gets his day.
He has a better shot in this than supporting actor, I'll say, and director than he will be having supporting actor.
Oh, Taika? Sure. Yeah.
We'll be able to find out in a few weeks when Jojo Rabbit is released.
Yeah. We'll see how the public takes it, because I know, oh boy,
yeah,
festival was interesting. Apparently, if you look at some other reviews, and then picture, Abe, what do you have?
Wait, are we doing animated feature?
Oh yeah, I forgot about animated feature. Thank you. Animated feature. It's at the very bottom of my list, and I skipped past it because I was like, let's go do that a little later. Now this is going to be fun. So Abe, tell us, what do we got for animated feature?
I have animated feature at hand, so can you do it? I'll do picture later.
Okay, I can do it.
Oh, Malcolm, do you have it up?
I do. I just didn't have anything in it because
Okay.
At the top of my head, I'm just gonna drop. How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, Toy Story 4,
Yes.
Yeah.
Frozen 2, the movie with Will Smith and Tom Holland that comes out in December. I don't know what's its name.
Spies in Disguise.
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
and let me see, and a Japanese film.
Some G-Kids movie is what I have written down.
We're the Ring with You.
I don't know which one, but one Japanese film is gonna get nominated.
I mean, if the Boss Baby can get nominated, I'm not going to be surprised if Spies in Disguise gets in there. But anyway, I don't have Spies in Disguise. I've got Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, The Hidden World. Whether Ring with You is the Japanese one I think might get in, and Abominable.
That movie is that's how you call it, a middle of the road movie. Is just moved.
I mean,
which is cute. I mean,
we're probably going to get the major players like
you don't see how to Train Your Dragon.
I said that.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
He did.
Other two which I think could slide in will be Addams Family and maybe Lego Movie 2. Although if they won't let any of the other Lego movies in.
Yeah, I forgot about the Lego Movie 2. But no, I think The Missing Link also has a shot because Laika has gotten. I think they've nominated for everything. I believe since they've had. Because let me check. Actually, I don't
Yeah,
wanna,
no, they have. They have
everything.
For everything. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So I think that's a safe bet at this moment, because despite the box office, that's really.
Are you talking about Second Link? Or
The Missing Link?
Missing Link, yeah.
Missing Link. Is that movie good? Came out in April.
I didn't see it.
It's I did. It's fine. Like I think it's Laika's worst movie, but that it's not bad. It's quite nice looking. And it's I felt a little more childish than a lot of Laika's other content, but not necessarily in a terrible way. For myself, obviously I think that the three that are 100% making it are Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, and How to Train Your Dragon, and then I think it's kind of what happens with the other two. So for one of the picks, I'm stuck in between. They're gonna pick one stop motion movie, or one whatever we want. I think we're calling it stop motion these days.
Sure.
And it's either gonna be The Missing Link or it's gonna be Farmageddon, and I think that is probably gonna be Missing Link, but Farmageddon is not impossible.
I mean, the other one is I think Aardman's been nominated. All the
lot, yeah.
They were definitely nominated for Curse of the Were Rabbit. I can't think of what other.
They won for Curse of the Were Rabbit.
Yeah,
I
was sure the first Shaun the Sheep movie was that nominated. I've got a feeling it was.
I don't think this film is that good, but can you see The Lion King?
No.
No, it's not. No.
And then the other thing, they're going to nominate a Japanese movie, and I think that because they didn't nominate Your Name, they're going to make, or quote unquote make up for that by nominating Weathering with You. So we'll see.
They're better.
Let's see if Makoto Shinkai is hated on again, or if he gets his day in court.
But the question is, with the big three like Hidden World, Frozen 2, and Toy Story 4, what could potentially win? But
at this point, it's Toy Story 4. At this point, it's Toy Story 4. But it depends on how good or bad Frozen 2 is.
Well, that was my point, though, because we're in that same situation with How to Train Dragon 2 and
Big Hero 6.
Toys, yeah.
You know, I just want to say it depends how good the Frozen song it gets. Like, if the Frozen song is amazing, like everybody's singing it, like Let It Go, that's gonna win. It all depends on the
Disney's gonna decide which movie it wants to win.
Yes,
and that's what's going to win.
Also, just as a cool little fun fact, and also kind of might say that the quality of Weathering with You, it is the official Japanese entry for Best International Film at this coming Oscars. They have literally picked that as their film to represent the country. So
interesting.
I know, I didn't realize that. So that kind of bodes well for I think for the quality of it.
Yeah. I mean, the director's good. So
I mean,
I'm down.
I'm down.
Götze scoring against Germany in Brazil 2014. What a great goal it was.
What a great goal.
Yeah.
What a great goal. I'll throw away the soccer ball to stop distracting Abe.
Well, see, now I just have Zen Zen Zenz in my head now. I was listening to that today. That's such a good soundtrack.
How the Netherlands beat Spain at the opening of Group B.
Okay. Anyway, we're moving on before I start breaking out into unintelligible Japanese, really butchered English Japanese. Well, because I want to start singing because I listened to the soundtrack for Your Name, even though I don't know any of the words. Yeah. It's Japanese.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm not going to be that guy.
You already are.
I haven't said anything. Not yet. All right. Best Picture, guys. So we're going to start off. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Best Picture. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I have this one in likelihood. Just a heads up. This one's in likelihood. The Irishman.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
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 Whoa. Okay. Hold up. I want to hear why no Irishman after those reviews, though.
I'm just not that hyped for it, and I mean, like, I honestly haven't seen don't pay attention to reviews at all. It may change when I see it, but I still have doubts about it just because with it being a Netflixy one anyway. So
That's true, but this movie, I believe, has gotten fantastic reviews so far. So keep your eye out for that one. Marriage Story.
Yes.
Yep.
no,
Killing us over here, Malcolm. Jojo Rabbit.
Correct.
no,
Really? Okay. All right. Ford v Ferrari.
Yes.
Yes.
no,
Parasite.
no,
Maybe.
Yes.
The Farewell.
Maybe.
No.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
Malcolm, what do you have? 1917.
Malcolm is gonna have
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then my 10 spot because Destin Daniel Cretton, Just Mercy.
No.
No one has that. Cool. I needed a 10 spot anyway, just because, even though that we never get 10 anymore. All right. So first off, before I get to Malcolm, Ryan. What do you have that I did not have?
So I had that you did not have. I have Little Women because again,
Yes.
we continue this trend.
Yes.
I also had oh, what the hell? Sorry, I lost my page.
I don't know
It's
that
on the
name.
page here.
What's that movie?
Oh, okay. So this one, I don't want it to be nominated, but I think that I think it just might get a token nomination. I think they might throw one at Avengers. I don't want that to happen. I actively don't want it to happen, but I think it might.
That's not a real possibility.
I think that was all I didn't have. And yeah, that was all we didn't have together.
Oh, okay.
So, I think.
Well, you hadn't have JoJo. You didn't have Parasite?
I had Parasite.
I didn't have Parasite.
You didn't have Parasite. Okay, so then we had
No. Hold on. I didn't have the Farewell. I had I put in Waves, even though I don't think it's gonna actually happen.
No,
but we'll see.
I think one of them is going to get it, and it just kind of depends which one A24 puts money on. Abe, what do you have then that because you don't have Parasite?
Okay. I have Joker.
Oh,
Okay.
Look, the thing is, it's a success financially. What you cannot see me on camera is because my back is hurting because I don't have a chair and I have to lay on my pillow.
Oh. Okay.
But I'm just saying that because I don't think it has. I think Joker is a financial success. They're gonna push it. I think it has a chance. Everybody, well, the public seems to love it, so there's gonna be that angle that the Academy can maybe push it for it. And I also have the two popes. It's just weird to me that a film that gets Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, and even script does not get nominated for Best Picture. That will be weird, honestly.
That's actually a solid argument. I should have it in then. Okay, well then, Malcolm, genuinely curious now. Which ones did we have with everybody?
But yeah, at the time that I made this, because I actually don't know sort of why I went this way when I'm. But yeah, no, this is the case when I was looking at it. It's like I don't know why I went this way initially when I.
It's like, wait a minute, this is not right.
But I've got Midsommar. I think there might be a slight chance they may give that one. I also had Joker.
Thank you.
I had Judy.
No way. What was it?
I had Knives Out.
There's a chance.
Well, okay. I will defend him on Judy. Judy could totally go Bohemian Rhapsody, and people love it so much, and they can get it. And
You know what I'm thinking?
I think Malcolm's gonna name the other Bohemian Rhapsody though.
Oh,
Rocketman.
The other Bohemian Rhapsody, or the Rocket Man.
is that the Rocket
Yes,
Man?
that would be that one. Yes.
But yeah, I had that one there, and I enjoyed Rocket Man, so I didn't compare.
Oh
that.
yeah, it's way better. It's way better than Bohemian Rhapsody. But
with Rocket Man, it's one that I think could potentially get in, and it's one that it didn't take itself seriously and wasn't trying to be a biopic per se, and tried to say that it did its own liberties and all that. But yeah, Booksmart I think could maybe get in. I had The Lighthouse, Ad Astra.
Oh, please.
And I do think Endgame is going to get in because one thing that I actually read a wee while back, but someone was saying that that the Academy has precedence for putting a movie in the Best Picture nomination for box office success because Avatar did really big box office and broke the box office records. Back in the day, and Titanic also did the same. So I think Endgame could potentially be that box office record breaking one that gets in. I mean, I don't think it will win, but I think it gets a nomination.
That's honestly true. Avatar was a technical marvel as well in and of itself. That was it was groundbreaking because of the technology, because the story, no one cared about the story. It was the technology that went along with it. I don't like Avatar. I'm sorry. The story is fine. Look, it's just, you know, I can see, for those unaware, Ryan is like looking at me like I'm crazy.
Can I just say something about Malcolm? Malcolm's saying Knives Out, and I think there's a small chance because I don't think it's that Oscar film everybody sees, but because it has an stellar cast, it can get SAG nomination for ensemble. And if it gets screenplay, maybe get someone nominated, which I doubt. It can get that Best Picture nomination if the ensemble if they maybe can win a SAG, because I don't think any yeah. I stand corrected for what I was gonna say. I was gonna say there doesn't seem to be any ensemble that comes up, but I think The Irishman and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's kind of, or even Marriage Story, it's yeah, they're great from what we read or heard.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move that on by and let's spend the last bit of our time we have here discussing the movie you guys all came to see, the movie that's sweeping our nation, that's sweeping the world. The number one movie currently at the box office right now, guys, breaking past records for October. We have Todd Phillips' The Joker.
Send in the clowns.
Now, I will say, disclaimer, we're going to have a discussion based upon a movie that has elements that are very disturbing. I will definitely say that. We'll try to be as respectful and as understanding of varying opinions that we may have, even though we may vehemently disagree about certain things, just for this movie in particular, because this movie has a lot of vitriol all over the internet, we will say. There are certain people...
Triggered.
Exactly. Thank you. Some people are taking this love of this movie a little too far. Some people are taking the hate of this movie a little too far. And we want to have a nice little fun middle ground discussion about why this movie is what it is. Exactly.
Also, are we going into spoilers?
Yes. But first, we're going to do a quick spoiler-free discussions, a couple sentences each from both of us on what our opinions were of the movie. And then we can get into the spoilers, the heart of the movie. I will have eeny, meeny, miny. Abe, you start.
I knew it was gonna be me.
Then Malcolm.
No, I wanna start. Look, this movie is incredibly crafted technically. I think the cinematography, the score, the production design, everything that you talk about technical is incredible. I think the performances are really good, but I think even the direction, it's like part there. Like, I don't think it's as good as, well, it's kind of weird, but I don't think the direction helps on it. However, I think the film lacks, like, the script is the problem with the film. I think they want to take the Sorna win, and I don't think they particularly succeed, especially in the middle when, well, we'll talk about the spoiler, when the reveal or whatever it is happens. I don't think that works, and that makes the movie, even though it's still interesting because Joaquin's performance is amazing, I still don't think it hits us as it really wants to. I don't know if it wants to start a conversation or hit some points. I don't think it really succeeds in that.
Okay, and since I said your name next, Malcolm, quick thoughts. Spoiler free.
Yeah, I mean, everything that Abe said is how I felt. Like, I felt the way the movie was crafted and like everything. I thought it was fine. Because, and it's one of those ones which, and yeah, the performance was great. I didn't have so much of a problem with the script, but I just don't think that as a movie this was that effective at working for what they were trying to portray.
And Ryan.
Yeah. So I thought this was well done. I think that it's like, honestly, I left the theater very disturbed, and not because I think that this movie is going to, cause mass violence and outright, but it did strike a chord that I thought was interesting. This movie reminded me a lot of another movie that we'll talk about, because I need to explain a spoiler to get into why I felt it reminded me of this movie. But what I will say is that, like, this is another one of these comic book movies that pushes the edge in a lot of ways, and then doesn't necessarily have the courage of its convictions to do that. I think that this movie has an absolutely exquisite performance by Joaquin Phoenix. It's so different than every other Joker, which I really appreciated. But it's, the movie just kind of wavers a bit, I will say. But it's good and interesting.
The three of us, apparently I don't exist. The four of us here seem to concur and have the same idea as each other, because I do think it was a good film. But I too, as Ryan, left it very disturbed. I couldn't put my thoughts into words. It's a very cynical film. It's a very pessimistic in the way that it portrays humanity and class warfare. And it does that in a way that I'll get into a bit more about how I don't think it does that effectively. But what holds it together to me is the performance by Joaquin Phoenix, who is just, I was enthralled every time he was on screen. Disturbed, uncomfortable, and just kind of really enthralled with everything that he was doing. The cinematography was beautiful. The score was very haunting. The production design, it was great. But I think under maybe a different director, maybe a sharper script, maybe a tighter script, I might say, because it did meander. I think this would have been an excellent film if handled differently, I would think. But it was still very good, but very disturbing. All right. Since you want to talk about a spoiler, Ryan, you go right ahead with what your idea was, since you mentioned spoilers.
So this movie reminded me of Logan a lot, because I thought that, both these movies start out with a very kind of bold vision of where they want to go. And then they both, progressively as the movie goes on, fall back on their comic book story tropes in a lot of ways. And this one did it especially egregiously so, by bringing in the Wayne family. And it Logan did it by feeling like an X-Men movie at the end. And then this, it didn't necessarily feel like a Batman movie, but it recalled so much of that, and it did so many useless things. Like, did we need to see a childhood Bruce Wayne? No. Is that did that add to the story? No. And then did we need to see them randomly get killed? The Waynes get randomly killed, but during the massive clown protest at the end.
Who thought we would see Bruce the Waynes die again?
Did we honestly? And did we need chubby Alfred? I don't understand what the point of bringing that element. This movie, it takes so many risks with this character and making this character into an entity that we can sort of believe in a way. Because I buy that character could exist. I don't buy that Heath Ledger could exist. I certainly don't buy that Jack Nicholson could exist.
But Jack Nicholson does exist. He exists as a human being.
What about Jared Leto?
But well, let's not even go there. But this is a guy that I think really could be out there. And then the movie just took me out of it anyways. And I was just kind of okay, cool. So that was kind of where I faded.
Yeah. This is where I'm going to agree in that regard, because this is where I think I failed it had this really interesting idea about classism and how it wanted to portray that. And I feel like it dropped the ball when it tried to bring in that Wayne subplot, because the Waynes become this representation of the elite, the society that's trying to bring the norm. And I just didn't care. I just did not care about that entire subplot whatsoever. I wanted to go back into this guy's degradation as a human being from Arthur to Joker. And this kind of, just as you said, it meandered, and I did not care. And it felt so ham-fisted in those spots, or so force-fed. They were force-feeding those entire sections of look how the stark contrast now between the Waynes and then how he lives. And I needed to either... That's why I said the screenwriter needed to somehow bridge those together, because that metaphor that they tried to convey felt so... I don't know how to put this. This has been a movie I've been trying to put into words for the longest time. And it's very hard to, because I can't rightly say what I didn't like about it. I just know somehow it didn't work for me. Is that... I'm assuming I'm not alone?
I mean... I didn't have a problem with seeing the Murder of the Waynes again. Because when they announced that Thomas Wayne was going to be in this movie, I did think, at the end of the movie, we're going to see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker murder the Waynes, which obviously wasn't the case. But I figured we were going to get the Wayne murder, because why else would you put Thomas Wayne in the Joker movie for no reason? So, but I mean, I agree that they weren't really connected that well script wise, and they could have done more for that connection to feel natural. Mm-hmm. But the spoiler bit that I've kind of figured on is I don't think that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is the Joker that we see later on in the DCU. I think they did this as a way to sort of set up that someone else will become the Joker down the line, take up the moniker, because they will maybe see news reports of this Joker causing havoc. It's that's a cool name. I will take on that mantle and do that. So,
well, yeah, no, I agree, but at the same time, I felt this was separate in and of itself as an entity. This doesn't even connect.
Yeah.
This is just
yeah. I mean, there wasn't anything to connect it to, which didn't need to be. Because I think, as I said, at the DCU already, we haven't seen any the Wayne murders or any sort of anything relating to this era of time, which is why they probably.
Well, we have seen the Wayne murders in the DCEU.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
You know, like just
I
It was
block out-
the
I-
most
I-
stunning depiction of the death of the Waynes that I've ever seen. But
I block out a lot of the DCEU, so I've just forgot.
I think also Warner Brothers has too. So
yeah, but yeah, no, I think that's. Although I would be curious to see if what they would do with like a 60-year-old Joker.
hey
That would be
kid,
kind
get
of an
back
interesting
here.
choice.
you know, I think this is the first time like we all fall in the same ballpark for a movie.
I know.
Because as Ryan said, like once they try to connect it with the Waynes, because I was expecting Wayne like to be in the part
Yeah.
where like just this is a tidbit for those DC films or something. But once it's revealed that Arthur is Wayne's son or whatever,
Son.
son or whatever. Or he
Okay,
has
but
a
do you think
connect-
that was like true?
Yes,
Yeah, that he was a son or wasn't, that he lied.
That
I
he
think
was.
it was.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, but
true.
okay, whatever. But not whatever. But like that's what pushes him like to the edge, like because
Yeah.
what they
Oh, yeah,
did
no,
to
it
her mom.
does.
Yeah, but like what they did to his mom and everything, and I don't think, and it doesn't make sense. Like he kills her. I mean, I know he's going nuts, but he kills
Oh, yeah.
his mom like supposedly because he loves it, and it like contradicts itself.
Well, I
Kind
think
of.
he killed her because he realized that she lied to him all this time, and he was like, "You basically tied me up to a radiator, and I'm going to now kill you." Or you
Yeah.
let your boyfriend do it, or whomever did that. But
I've been listening to those to like real crime podcasts, and the majority of times, like when you get hit on the head, like mass murder, serial killers, it's one of those things that trigger serial killers, like get hit in the head. It's just weird.
Really?
Yeah. Many share that part of their story, which is not what we're talking about.
I
You
just-
guys talk about being disturbed for the movie. I was disturbed for the movie for the first time until the reveal that he's, because I like disturbing films. It doesn't matter to me. Like Black Mass, like seeing Black Mass, I remember my stomach was like flinching. Even Sicario, I felt that. And this did too, but like until the middle of the film where it completely lost it when connected to the Waynes and trying to comment on classism, which is kind of works, but it doesn't really work at the end. Also, the end of the film, I think I'm jumping out of, like the end of the film when he kills we assume he killed
she's
the
either
therapist, and
she's bleeding out.
yeah, it's like, he got like a happy ending, because he's like walking into the sunset. That's how I got it, because of the sun in the background and all light, and he was just having fun, I guess, like crazy. And
Yeah.
I don't think that really worked. I laugh at it because I thought that was stupid.
Also, I looked up the actor that played Alfred in this. But one of his previous roles was Sir Robert Locksley in the 2010 Robin Hood movie.
Oh,
good.
good for him. Go ahead, Ryan.
I think that like the reason why I thought I left this movie very disturbed, was obviously I found his character so realistic through most of the movie. It's frightening to imagine that kind of person out in the world.
Yes.
And I think more specifically, and again, I want to preface this that I don't believe that art encourages violence and vice versa. And I don't think that's what Todd Phillips is trying to do or say. And I don't think that's what's going to happen. But I'm just suggesting that in the world that we live in, that we see a lot of violence from groups like Antifa that have this very class-based warfare mentality that is very similar in kind to what Joker and what this movie purports to support in some ways, or not necessarily what the movie purports to support, but what characters in the movie seem to be on board with. And because that sentiment bears so much truth in our world today. Like, I know this is set in the 70s and it was true then too, but it felt very real. And
Yeah.
Most comic book movies don't do that, which is why, and I think that we would be more disturbed by comic book movies if they felt real.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what this one did successfully. And I think that is where its merit lies.
Yeah, I will co-sign with that completely. While I think some of this is blown out of proportion, the PSAs and all of the FBI warnings, stuff like that, I think that was the Aurora. Wow, my entire Abe, are you there?
Yes.
You
I
died.
don't know what happened.
And-
You left. No, you left.
Yeah, you dropped yourself out of the call.
You're here, but you're like you're an well, it's okay. We just need your. Oh, he's gone. Okay. But what I was saying, while Abe tries to get his life. Wait, do I add you guys? Oh, there he is. Abe.
I think my camera messed up. I think
It's okay. We just
Can you
need
hear
your
me?
beautiful. We just need your
Okay.
beautiful voice. That's all we need. But as I was saying, this movie, like the Aurora shooting victims, what they sent out, I do not want to ever try to trivialize what someone may have gone through, and I understand where that comes from because this movie is dark. It's disturbing.
I would like to talk about that after you're done your sentence here.
Okay.
So.
I don't want to. I want to be respectful for those people who may have had the fears because this movie had the Joker character has baggage, as we saw years ago with the Aurora shooting. Greatly misreported because he was not dressed up as Joker. It's just the stuff surrounding that has clouded this film in particular because he is in fact Joker, and Joker represents, in my mind, the darkest part of humanity. He is a representation for the evil that is in us as a society, and this movie represented that. This is literally a movie with no heroes. There are no good people in this movie whatsoever. I left this movie thinking, even though I was sympathetic in some parts to Arthur, at the end of the day, he's going around murdering people, and I can't be sympathetic to that. I can understand where he came from at the end of the day, but at this time, he is a mass murderer. He literally incites an incident, and the movie wasn't condoning that. I do think, however, the classism stuff, as I said, was done. It felt like such a back burner. The entire Wayne thing was just on the back burner. It just was such an afterthought. And then it brings it in the very end, and it just felt so uneven to me that I would have liked to not enjoy, that's a terrible word. I would have liked to delve deeper into just what his character was or see the world a little bit more zoomed out because it felt like we were having a nice tight shot the entire time until we had a nice zoom out, and it just felt weird. However, this is a movie of us literally, as I was describing, the entire time the rubber band was being pulled back and back and back and back until ultimately it snapped back and we just kind of watched it unfold. Yeah. And that's what disturbed me because Ryan's right. This is someone that could exist in this world. He's not a cartoon. Even though he might do some cartoonish things as the Joker, this is a scary individual. And Joaquin Phoenix is brilliant. And also just, for those watching this who may be quote unquote triggered, just be wary. This is a movie with dark, deep, demented themes. Yeah. Ryan, go ahead with what you were saying.
Well, I was just going to briefly comment on the Aurora victims coming out and commenting on this movie, especially when none of them had actually seen the film. I think we do have to have a deep respect, obviously, for people who deal with these huge sort of traumas. But I have real concerns when it's sort of like that status is militarized in that kind of way. And I don't think that there was any, and as we saw, there were no incidents. Like, I don't think there was any realistic threat that was born out of this movie. I think that people
agree.
It was the sensational storytelling. And I just think it's kind of it's just very sad. Like, I don't like that that's the world that we live in. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I do agree. This movie is Todd Phillips, I will say, or they did a great job representing and telling this story of how it basically put a mirror to us and said, this is the extreme of what could possibly happen. And this is not too far from reality. And that's what's scary. That's what's scary to me, because were characters horrible human beings in this? Yes. But there are some people who are horrible human beings in this world. And that's what's scary.
Yeah. And I mean, from a different, for me, I like, it hit close to home to me because of what happened in Christchurch earlier in the year with the mosque shooting. So I mean, and I think, to me, that was probably one of the faults of the movie, that they tried too hard to try and get into the mind of the murderer to the point where the story kind of fell apart. So that's kind of another feeling. I mean, I had an interesting double feature with this because before I saw Joker, on the same day, I went to see It Chapter 2. So I'm never going to be able to look at clowns the same way again.
It's okay. Join the club.
What, you saw both of them on the same day?
No, I can't look at clowns the same way. Because I don't like clowns.
I think that there's...
I want to dress up as Halloween as a clown.
You were not invited on this podcast, Dave. Go ahead, Ryan.
Sorry.
I was going to say, I think that Todd Phillips, like, he has done an interesting job with pastiches of Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm going to step back to War Dogs for a second. That movie felt very Wolf of Wall Street-y, and I think that he took a lot of elements from that movie. And then I think when he finally had the chance to have something produced by Scorsese, he really was like, I'm just going to go whole hog. And he did a good job, like, incorporating, obviously incorporated King of Comedy. He incorporated Taxi Driver apparently. And I think that he did a very good job of kind of recalling that to the screen.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments from people online going, this is basically Taxi Driver, but using the Joker.
Kind of. They're not totally wrong.
I mean, they didn't include a scene of Joker talking in the mirror going, you're laughing with me, you're laughing at me, you must be laughing at me, I'm the only one here.
It's like Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, and a ton of face makeup put in a blender. Then you put it, and then you take it, and that's a movie. But I don't remember what I was in. I cannot look at myself, so I don't know.
You can't, but we can hear you.
But I think I was gonna say. Okay, I have a question for you guys, because I see it like this. So we know the Joker is not a reliable narrator, right? Because of what happens with her, with his girlfriend, and what happened in the comedy club, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay. Do you guys think that when he murders the guys in the train, because that was basically self-defense, if that's the real part of the story, right? So, and he enjoys that part. So, do you guys think...
that's not self-defense.
I mean,
that does not. It is not
Look, I'm not.
That's a lawyer. 70s Gotham City. Help us out.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't do it the first one he doesn't do it intentionally, but the second and third one there are kind of.
The third one is definitely like that.
Yeah, that one is because I enjoy the first one, but because he was being molested, you can say, or bothered by those guys, and he didn't want to do anything, and he was so broken off. That was the day he got fired, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the same. He was having a bad day, and someone bothered him, and someone that, how the guys were gonna know that. And that was interesting thing, because it does common for society, like how when some people from certain social status got things to them, they're out put in the media and everything, look what happened to these poor guys, when in reality they probably are the trash of the society. And when it's based on another groups, I don't know, African Americans or minorities, to say so, they don't get the exact same focus as those guys, because Gotham was rally because those were educated guys, which they're supposed to be good people. and we usually just
Yeah.
we take
I
them
mean,
as how they are.
I mean, with that scene, I do kind of because that was early on, sort of before he sort of went all crazy and like went
That
over the
was
top
when he. That was when he.
and started rallying up. What anyone knows? Why did it was a crowded train? Why did no one have the sense to go find someone and go, look, there's shooting happening, people chasing all over the place.
There's some suspension of disbelief that
Yes.
this movie has to. We have to give. I will also say though that to go on to your point, Abe, as someone who works in the news, we definitely something happens, downtown in an area where there's mostly shootings that may happen. It's not as big news if something happens to something where uptown where more of the rich and upper echelons live in their fancy castles or wherever they do. I'm not rich. I don't know. What do they do? Filet mignons every night on their tennis club and their yachts. We definitely will report on that more than some other stuff because that's becomes news and it's sensationalized. And I think Todd Phillips had great moments of that. I just wish he stuck the landing when it came to the classism type of that because it does feel like an afterthought, like the Thomas Wayne stuff. Because Thomas Wayne becomes a representation of everything that Joker and the people hate, but he's just kind of there. It doesn't really feel cohesive in a movie that kind of hinges upon this character and the stuff that he goes through. Also, that entire Zazie Beetz wasted. That was care for that.
Well, no, I thought it was kind of interesting. Also, she was really she was photographed well in this movie.
Are you saying she's pretty or
she was on focus?
She wasn't.
she was in focus. Yes,
it's very true. I wish they did more about that because literally she just becomes like she as a character. I guess what works. She's just this person that he
I mean, it's not a fantasy, but he fantasizes with her, and that's what. That was one of the points that that really shocked me. Like I thought they were actually kind of in a relationship, like for the whole of the movie until he enters the apartment and I say, what? Like she was the light of hope in his life, That's what
Yeah, see,
it's a cool shot. It was a cool, shocking moment, I thought.
I looked at my sister the moment she came up and he started doing, I don't know, forgot what scene. The first scene, she came to the door and then he left and I was like, she's not real. Because they had set up prior that he was imagining the entire interaction with Murray. And I'm like, he's probably having, because she was way too nonchalant about some of the stuff. Like, I have a gun here. And she was not interested when he was leaving, when he did that thing the first time. So I was like, this is definitely something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, if they had explored that bit further, I probably would have brought that. I mean, it just seemed to sort of that you see her with them a lot of the times, like it's like okay, then like when it's revealed that she wasn't there at all, it's like, I mean, okay. I felt like there could have been a bit more they could have done with it.
Yeah,
but I think with that when they tried to go all Fight Club on that and try to lead you astray and then try to reveal like similar to that.
Go ahead, Abe.
Oh, I think that's where you lost sympathy for him because, as I said, that was the more human relationship we have, and we see him as a human, and once we know that didn't happen, it's like, okay, you're crazy.
Yes,
you really are someone.
Yeah,
he was also off his meds though, so by that time,
yeah.
Please,
I mean,
I
mean, I think if they'd set up a scene of Arthur and Zazie Beetz' character actually having a conversation, sort of that was real, to sort of show that he did actually talk to her a few times because
the first time.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. There wasn't that much conversation in the elevator between them. It was more just her talking to him about the elevator and that. But I think there needed to be at least one more scene to show them talking together before the reveal of the whole fake period that he was imagining.
This may be more reflection on me, but the moment that she started to be into him, I was like, this is totally fake. Because like this is not real, because this guy from the interactions was not all there. And the moment he started, she would be into something like that with the daughter. That's nothing stable whatsoever. And when he barged into her room, or excuse me, faked barged, and they started passionately necking. That's when I was like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, that was. But I believe that was the first time you see her barge into the room. It's like, yeah, I mean, you don't start kissing straight like that after one interaction in an elevator. If that would happen to me, then I'll be a lucky man.
Well, you might. You might.
You might. Well, you know what? We don't know. People have experiences along those lines. Anything we want to add about the movie, because it's 11:11 currently right now, so make a wish, guys, where I'm at. Anything you guys want to add about?
Well, I wanted to just bring up one more thing, which I thought it was such a bold choice to use Rock and Roll Part 2 for the Joker's introduction. And I still just find that moment so interesting. That's I mean, I don't know. I've said everything I have to say, but I wanted to just throw that out there.
Yeah. No, the music choices in this were beside, other than like the conventional Bring in the Clowns, it's very interesting choices. Not just score wise, but soundtrack. Also, I just appreciate the entire Joker scene with Murray. I think might be maybe not the strongest, but like my personal favorite scene of the movie.
I second that thought.
It's the tension is palpable, and then De Niro and Pacino. This is not Pacino. Phoenix are just kind of going at it as actors, and then what did I say to Pacino? Phoenix.
You're thinking about it?
You want to see The Irishman?
I do now at Trailer Man. But yeah, I think that was an excellent scene.
I mean, I'd love to see a movie in which Al Pacino plays the Joker. But
you should have seen Ryan's.
Yeah.
No.
But the scene in which Joker murders Murray is great. It's like especially with the music. That one is one that works so well with the music, because you can tell with the music that something's going to happen. It's like it was just building up. It's like, and then just see sort of how quickly it was when he shot Murray. Then my favorite is like when it zoomed back out, you see all the TVs showing the murder, then transitioning to each news station, and seeing different parts of that same clip sort of just come through. It's just so well edited. And I will say this, if Joker's not in best editing in the Oscars, I'm going to be really surprised, because I think that and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think it probably close to being locked for maybe in editing.
Maybe. This movie was in and of itself, I will say, uneven. That's the biggest thing I can give it. There are some parts that are fantastic, some parts that are, we used the word meandering before, but it's accurate. It's just this movie felt unfocused for me personally in some parts, but fantastic in other parts when I was just dealing with Phoenix and his descent into utter madness, because that guy can command a screen, he can command a scene very easily. Last minute thoughts before we wrap up.
Just think it opens strong, it closes strong, and I think the middle part is like the one that wobbles and like decreases like the score or how much I like it for me. And also, just to second and say it again, that Murray scene, I think that was one of the best scenes of the year. You felt all the tension between the characters and everything that was happening with them. Like De Niro was acting like you remember how good he is as an actor. When he changes the face, like you really did it. That was incredible. That I love that part.
Yeah. That was
yeah. I mean, the last thing that I'm going to say is, do you think we get a sequel?
No.
I hope not. Because
I don't think we need a sequel. Like, I think the way it is with just the ambiguous ending works. I think if they try to do a sequel, it's going to take away from what they did in this.
I'm just glad that the very end, the psychiatrist wasn't like had on the name tag Dr. Harleen Quinzel or something. I'm like, oh no, please stop.
I mean, I personally was hoping for a few more slight DC references.
I prefer subtle ones.
Yeah, I mean, like if they had on named Dr. Harleen Quinzel, that would be nice, because it was already implied that was the Arkham State Hospital. So I mean, so there's precedent for that Easter egg. It wouldn't really be the Easter egg for the Easter egg's sake.
Mm-hmm. That is very true. And then finally, Oscar chances, guys.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joaquin Phoenix's potential for actor. I mean, I do have it in my best pictures, but that's in my 9-10 slot. So if they only do 8, then I do think it's probably going to miss out. And I think it's probably bound to get a few technicals, like maybe sound and music and score and stuff like that.
I think you had a great shot in cinematography, possibly film editing, possibly. You got score, screenplay somehow, and director.
I think if it gets best picture, it gets screenplay. If not, I think actor. I think it's pretty much a lock. I think cinematography and score there's a good chance. Even production design, I thought the film looked beautifully, and that's it. So I think 4 or 6 if it gets picture and screenplay. I don't editing. There's a chance, but if if it gets the best picture, because usually those are the 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is our discussion about Joker. Long discussion there, but the Joker is a very of the moment type of movie, and in and of itself, it is a movie that warrants some discussion of some kind, because it's very disturbing, but it's also a very well crafted film. That's it, guys. That's it. That's episode 30 of Gone with the Wind. We started off with just 2, and now we have 4. I love math, guys. We managed to add, no subtraction. So, where can people find you, Malcolm?
You can find me hosting Rankum every Sunday. This week is going to be movies based on Shakespeare plays. You can also find me hosting Formula Random each week, and I compete all over the place in trivia, and I'm on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Melkor.
And Ryan.
Don't follow me. Have a good week, guys.
There you go.
We'll talk to you next week.
Heard it to him first. And Abe.
You can follow me on Twitter at Abraham. Well, I think Ryan needed to leave.
Oh, Ryan needed to leave. I wish he had just texted me that.
You can follow me on Twitter at Abraham25. You can follow my Instagram at Abraham25. If you have Facebook and you know who I am, please do not add me. I don't care about your life, and you shouldn't care about mine either.
And you can follow me at Twitter at Cine_Man. That's CINE_MANN, as well as YouTube at Manning Franks, because I'm original like that, as well as my newest video that I have, the close-up, just dissecting kind of like, what happens when characters look into the screen without breaking the fourth wall. Mentioned Tarantino in there, as well as Hitchcock and Barry Jenkins, 3 great directors who utilize that very well. My next video essay is on the way out, or is currently being recorded at the moment. It's written already, so hope you guys like anime, because I am currently getting into that fandom, and please help me. I can't get out. And finally, thank you guys for watching Gone with the Wind. Please leave a like or subscription for Take 3 Productions, and you can see us next week. Not next week. In 2 weeks. We'll start getting weekly basis soon, but not yet. Thank you guys for watching or listening, wherever you're finding your podcast. Go out. Be free. Bring in the clowns.
Fly.